Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarly TV. This is of course part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. I do have a brand new team for you all today, and you'll notice that it is featuring at least one Pokemon that we don't typically see. I'm really excited to show that off. So I've been building a lot of teams. You'll notice something that's emerging as like kind of one of my favorite Pokemon, or at least one of the Pokemon I'm enjoying using the most in this format, is Rillaboom. I had it on my previous team, not my previous one before this, because that was my little Halloween video, but before that, I did have a Rillaboom team with Sneasler, and this time around we have a little self-sufficient Rillaboom, which we'll talk about. Now, before we get into the team, I do want to talk first about well, I mean, I sound like a typical YouTuber, right? Before we get into the games, please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. I would really appreciate that. All of your support helps me out, and I appreciate it greatly. But what I was going to say was actually, they did announce the release date for the new DLC. So the second DLC, the Indigo Disc, I think it's called, is releasing on December 14th. So a little over a month from now. Which is pretty exciting because that's not too far away. I was hoping it would come out sometime in November, but it's fine. You know, I understand that like it would be a little closer. It would be a little too close to the first DLC. So I understand they want to spread them out decently, but I'm excited. You know, I think, and I guess they had originally said winter 2023 for the second DLC. So it does track. It does make sense that it's coming out in December, but December 14th, that is not that far away. We're going to get a lot of returning Pokemon, probably a good number of new Pokemon as well. Pretty much all the starters, I think, are coming back, so I'm super excited to try out some Blaziken, some Serperior, some Swampert. It's going to be so much fun. I also saw that my favorite Pokemon, Smeargle, is coming back in the DLC, so I'm extremely excited for that. I cannot wait. And then, of course, like I said, we'll also get some new Pokemon, new moves, so it's going to be crazy. Anyways, let's get to the team. Sorry, that was a little tangent there. I do have the timestamps for all the battles in case you think you feel like I'm talking too much. You can skip ahead if you want. But the team itself, we have, I mean, I'm going to start with the Pokemon that, you know, we're going to go a little out of order here. Milotic is the Pokemon that you don't typically see in Battle Stadium singles. And I actually think Milotic is pretty decent right now. I actually think it has a place in the meta. We'll talk about some of the weaknesses it has, but the reason I was drawn to it, I just wanted to build around it because it has a pretty unique ability, Marvel Scale. I think the hidden ability of Dragonair and Dratini is Marvel Scale as well, but those two Pokemon are nowhere near as bulky as Milotic. And of course, if you're using the hidden ability, you know, Dragonair Pokemon, like, you might as well use Dragonite because it's extremely good. But so Marvel Scale, what that does is if you are inflicted with a status condition like sleep, paralysis, burn, poison, etc., your defense stat is boosted. So, you know, that just makes you extremely tanky. And so I'm running max HP and max defense. So, and then as you'll see there, I have rest. So if we take a lot of damage, or if the opponent burns or poisons us, we can just use rest, and then we heal back up to full health, and our defense is boosted because we are asleep. So it just makes it really difficult for the enemy, particularly physical attackers, to do a lot of damage to us. And water is a really good typing right now. There are some, you know, there's a few stray electric type Pokemon, not very many though. There's sometimes some grass type Pokemon, but for the most part, water is a really solid type that, you know, only has two weaknesses, and those weaknesses are not very common. So we also have Sleep Talk, so that when we are asleep with rest, we can go for Sleep Talk and hopefully go for either Scald or Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail is there to scare out Pokemon that would try to set up against us, because that can definitely happen. And then, of course, Scald is there to do a little bit of damage while also potentially burning the enemy. And Milotic is one of the few Pokemon that still has access to Scald. So Scald was brought back as a TM in the Teal Mask DLC, but not every water Pokemon gets it, which is really, really sad, because it used to be that pretty much every single water type Pokemon had Scald. Now they really gutted it. Only a handful of water type Pokemon have Scald now, and Milotic is one of them. And Scald is an amazing move. It's still just as good as it ever was. It does damage, it does decent damage, while also having the chance to burn, which is just really, really strong. So even against Pokemon like Urshifu that we wouldn't otherwise have too much to do against, because we don't do that much damage to it. Like if we can burn an Urshifu, that's perfect. And also Pokemon like Chien-Pao. So yeah, Milotic I've found to be pretty good, and I've been really liking it. Now the rest of the team is pretty standard. I do have a few Pokemon that we'll talk about that are pretty different than the sets I've run on them before. But let's quickly go through it. So we have Mamoswine, my Focus Sash Oblivious Mamoswine. Mamoswine as a lead has felt really good in this meta. Being Oblivious is immune to Taunt and Intimidate, which are two common things that they'll try to throw at us to stop Mamoswine. So that's great. And it hits really hard. It sets up Stealth Rock. I love it. And then we have the two Pokemon on the bottom. I know I'm going out of order here, but I just want to get off or go through all the Pokemon that I've already used. Scizor. This is my max HP, max special defense Scizor. In testing with this team, I will say I think Scizor was the Pokemon I brought the least, but I think it still has a place on the team, and I think that it's a Pokemon that can scare away Pokemon like Fluttermane or Chien-Pao because it does a ton of damage to them. Even with 0 attack investment and without even setting up a Swords Dance, we can one-hit KO traditional Fluttermanes with Bullet Punch. So, sometimes the opponent will see Scizor and that might dissuade them from bringing Fluttermane at all, because something I didn't mention with Milotic is Milotic does struggle against really strong special attackers like Fluttermane or Iron Bundle, who has Freeze Dry. So Scizor is there to take on Iron Bundle and Fluttermane mainly. That's why I have max special defense. And then we have Iron Moth, which is the set I've been running as well, which I've been liking as well. It's another Pokemon that can help me against Fluttermane if my opponent brings it, because again, the rest of my team is kind of weak to Fluttermane. So I, thought that Iron Moth would be a good Pokemon to use. And this has Booster Energy to boost its speed. It has no investment in special attack, and then it has max HP, and the rest of the EVs are in defense just to be a little bulky. It's Terra Fairy, which I found to be pretty decent as well. And of course, Fiery Dance can boost our special attack. So, I love Iron Moth, and it's been working really well for me. Then the last two Pokemon, the number 2 and number 3 there, we have a Choice Banded Dragonite, which I haven't really used. Dragonite is, of course, a Pokemon that is extremely versatile. Maybe the most versatile Pokemon in the entire format, which is why it's consistently in the top 3 usage in Battle Stadium singles for Scarlet and Violet, because it just has so many different things it can do and so many things it can do really well. And this one is just there to hit really hard. We have Terra Flying with Terra Blast, which hits very, very hard. And sometimes Pokemon don't expect it. Sometimes they'll send in something that can typically wall Dragonite, and then we just Terrasilize and go for Terra Blast and just destroy them. So I found it to be pretty good. And then finally, the last Pokemon we have here is my trusty Rillaboom. This is a different set than I've used though, and let's talk a little bit about it because it's a funny one. There are some problems with this Rillaboom set, but in spite of those problems, I kind of still want to use it as is. So this is max HP and max attack Rillaboom with Grassy Seed. So the cool thing about Rillaboom is you send it out, it automatically summons Grassy Terrain, and then with the Grassy Seed, it automatically gets a defense boost because it's in Grassy Terrain. Obviously, in Grassy Terrain, Grassy Glide then becomes a priority move, which is great. And Grassy Glide does a lot of damage to Fluttermane as well, and it also really threatens Iron Bundle. And it can also do some decent damage to Chien-Pao. So Rillaboom's pretty good. Grassy Glide is a really strong move, pretty surprisingly. However, let's talk about the funny thing about this set. So I thought, okay, well, I have Grassy Seed. I automatically consume the Grassy Seed when I get sent into battle, which is great. It boosts my defense, and it can trigger Acrobatics. It can make Acrobatics a fully powered move, a 110 base power attack, which is really strong. So I thought to myself, okay, well, why don't I just go Terra Flying with that? Which is great because that boosts the power even further, and it does hit really, really hard, and sometimes we'll be able to get off a Swords Dance beforehand, and it can just destroy things. Flying is a really strong offensive type, surprisingly. So that's all great, right? The problem is Grassy Terrain, and by extension Grassy Glide, only work the way you want them to work if you are quote-unquote grounded, which means if you are touching the ground, but more specifically, flying type Pokemon and Pokemon with Levitate, they are not grounded, which means they are not affected by the Grassy Terrain, so they don't get the recovery every turn from Grassy Terrain. And Grassy Glide is no longer a priority move if you are not grounded. So it's really funny that it just so happens that I want to run Terra Flying with Acrobatics because it boosts my power, and you know, when I eat the Grassy Seed, I can trigger Acrobatics to be full powered. However, it just so happens that that Terra type is the one Terra type you maybe don't want on your Rillaboom if you're running Grassy Glide. So like I said earlier, you know, even though that's a big point of conflict on this Rillaboom set, I'm still gonna run it. I feel as though, I mean, there might definitely be situations where I Terrasilize and I go for Acrobatics, I do a ton of damage, and then they send in another Pokemon, and it's a faster Pokemon like Chien-Pao, and I want to click Grassy Glide, but I just can't. That might happen. But I'm gonna take that risk here, and there might be situations where the Rillaboom looks like, you know, next level, like 5D chess, amazing, and then there's gonna be situations where it looks absolutely stupid because I'm a Terra Flying type in grassy terrain. So we're gonna see how that goes, but Rillaboom's been great, and I will just kind of look ahead, or I will just kind of spoil my next team that I built that's actually been doing really well for me in testing, and it's been a lot of fun. I happen to be using Rillaboom on that team as well. So yeah, Rillaboom has been like a surprise breakout for me. I mean, I know it existed in Sword and Shield as well, but for some reason, like, I've just been finding I've been finding a lot of new uses for it in this meta. So I've been really excited for that. So there's the team. That was a really long description. Let's get to the battles now. Okay, I actually completely forgot that it's a new season now. I haven't played since Halloween. So, yeah, it's a brand new season. It's the beginning of the month. It's the same rule set, so nothing new, but, you know, the season has reset, so my rank has reset. With that in mind, we have a really interesting team here. I actually like it. Even though they're using a lot of unconventional Pokemon, they actually all look pretty solid. So, I like Mamoswine here, although I think that's a pretty obvious lead, so I kind of feel like if I lead Mamoswine, they might lead with something like Meowscarada, which can be rough. But I think Mamoswine's pretty solid against their whole team anyway, so leading with it is just fine, I think. And then, as far as physical attackers, the funny thing is their physical attackers are Electric and Grass, which are both super effective against Milotic. They do also have Cerulege, which is Fire, but I'm not sure I want to bring Cerulege here. I think I like Iron Moth, though I do need to be careful with that Cerulege, honestly. And then I think Dragonite's just a good, well-rounded threat here. So unfortunately, we're not showing off the Rillaboom, but I think I'm going to try this. Sorry, I had to check something. All right, the start of the battle, they lead with their Rotom, and I think I'm okay. I kind of just want to get up rocks here. I'm not too afraid of what Rotom can do. Now, the biggest problem with them leading Rotom here, for me, is that I can't do any damage to it. Yeah, so they are going to get the burn off on me, which is really unfortunate, but, you know, that does let me get up my Stealth Rock. That is going to really hinder my Mamoswine for the rest of the battle. But at this point, I'm just gonna stay in and just click like Icicle Crash, honestly, just to get a little bit of damage on them. And if they switch, we might get more damage on whatever comes in. So yeah, if they Blizzard me, if they knock me out, it's really not that big of a deal. So I'm just gonna click Icicle Crash, like I said. They use Hex, which I kind of don't mind. Like I said, I should survive this, and we just want to get a little damage on them. Like, we're just kind of scouting for what they can do. Not a lot of damage, and then I'm gonna very awkwardly click Ice Shard here, which is gonna do much less damage. But this at least kind of, you know, we have the rocks up. Doesn't put me in a fantastic position, but, you know, we're trying. I wonder how much damage Extreme Speed from Dragonite would do. I don't think I want to go into Dragonite though because of the Will-O-Wisp. Well, actually, I have a really good Pokemon to go into here, which is Iron Moth. So I'm going to go into Moth, and that might threaten them to switch out. And I can just click the Fiery Dance. Actually, I think Cerulege might come in. Huh. I'm still gonna click it. If they go into Cerulege, it is what it is, really. They'll take Stealth Rock damage. We'll boost the power of their fire type moves, but they might not go for it because of course we do resist those. Yeah, that was pretty obvious, but I just wanted to be safe. I guess this isn't exactly safe. Now I can just click Discharge, which is the only move I have that hits it for neutral damage, but it might do a decent chunk, and if we happen to paralyze it, that also really helps us as well. So I think I'm in an okay spot here. We don't get the paralysis, but that's fine. They Shadow Claw, which we do take pretty well thanks to the defense EVs, and I just click Discharge again. They probably have Shadow Sneak, which is pretty annoying. Now they go Bitter Blade, okay. Huh, yeah, they probably have Shadow Sneak. Oh, this is actually not a great situation for me. Because if they have Shadow Sneak, we're actually in a lot of trouble. I can go into Dragonite. I think I have to go Dragonite. Oh, this is actually pretty rough. Go into Dragonite. I can't go Extreme Speed unless they Terrasilize. Yeah, they do go Shadow Sneak. The upside here is I should live any hit they go for. I think I just click Outrage here. Because if they switch, they actually, I don't think they have too many Pokemon that can resist this. This is going to knock out their Ceruledge. Then they go into Rotom, and that's annoying. Actually, well, never mind. I was gonna say, if they go into Rotom, maybe I just switch back into Iron Moth, predicting them to go for Will-O-Wisp, but I actually, since I clicked Outrage, I cannot switch. So this is a scary situation. If they go Hydreigon here, that's also rough. Yeah, they do. There's a chance we can win. If we happen to be faster, which I doubt is gonna be the case, we knock them out. If they're probably going to Terrasilize. Maybe they're Terra Steel. Oh, they go Draco Meteor. Huh. Okay. So now we have a choice to make. Huh, what do we do here? So we don't have the booster energy anymore. We might still be faster than Hydreigon, though. I think do I Terrasilize? I think I Terrasilize. Yeah, I'm going to Terrasilize. We might lose this game, but there's also some wild chance that we win. They might not expect us to have Dazzling Gleam, so that could work in our favor. Like, if they just stay in and don't Terrasilize, we just destroy them. And if they stay in and don't Terrasilize, we might just win the game. Depending on what speed stats we're at. Oh, they're faster, but we might resist. We live and no flinch. Oh, wow, okay. Wow, we might win this game. I'm pretty sure I'm faster than a Rotom. The thing is, so this is actually a really funny end to the battle, because we either win the game, which is a crazy comeback, or we lose, obviously, which is, you know, a little painful. They still can Terrasilize though. Oh, that's the problem. I kind of feel like they're gonna Terrasilize. I think I click Sludge Wave. What could they Terra into? Because, like, Fiery Dance is obvious. Would they be Terra Ice? I'm gonna click Sludge Wave. I might regret that. They are Terrasilizing, okay. So if they're like Terra Fire or something, then I'm happy I clicked Sludge Wave. Terra Ghost, okay. Oh, and they resist that, no! All right, hey, that just kind of shows, so I'm pretty sure we're losing this one. That just shows though, well, let's see. It's close, but yeah, we lose. Yeah. That just shows right there, like, sometimes you play that Terrasilize prediction game, and it's wild. Like, I don't know, like, you never see Rotom Frost, is that one what that one's called? You never see that Pokemon, so it's like, okay, they could be Terra Ice to boost the power of their Blizzards, or they could be Terra Ice with Terra Blast so that they could use an Ice type move that's not, you know, super inaccurate. They could be Terra Electric. You know, Rotom used to be, the Rotom Wash used to commonly run Terra Fairy, so there's just so many options there, and they happen to be one of the few Terra types that would resist Sludge Wave. So I think with that damage, if they had not Terrastalized into a Ghost type, like if they had almost any other Terra type, or if they didn't Terrastalize, I think we would have knocked them out with Sludge Wave there, but it just so happened. So that's funny because we were just so close to winning that battle. It just so happened that they had Terra Ghost, which, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It boosts the power of their Hex, so that makes sense, but also like, I don't know. That's an interesting one. But like I said, you also just don't really see that Rotom very often. So who even knows what it would be? Let me know in the comments. I'm actually interested. Let me know in the comments what you would have done in that situation. You have a Iron Moth with like 30 health left. Your opponent goes into a Rotom. You know you're going to be faster. You know they can Terrastalize because they haven't done so already. Which move do you click there? So yeah, let me know in the comments because I'm interested in that. So let's go to game 2. All right, we've got some interesting Pokemon here. We've got some annoying ones for sure. Okay, they also have a Milotic, which is interesting. I want to bring Scizor here. The problem is they have a lot of strong physical attackers. The main reason I want to bring Scizor is because of that Gliscor, which I hate. They do have Milotic, which again is going to be tough. Seeing the Milotic, I kind of want to bring Moth again. Moth does look pretty decent against this team. This team just looks rough. So I think I want to bring Moth. I think I want to bring Scizor, because if I don't bring Scizor, Gliscor looks like it could be a big problem for me. And Scizor is also like okay against this team. It's not great. Like some of their Pokemon wall it really well. From there, I think it's going to be Mamo, just because Stealth Rock looks pretty good here. But once again, Mamoswine looks like a pretty obvious lead. I'm still going to go for it, though. The problem with Scizor is, again, like if they go into Gliscor, like their Earthquake might do a lot of damage against me. But typically, Gliscor runs Protect, Substitute, Toxic, and Earthquake, so if I don't take that much damage with my Scizor, yeah, they do lead it. If I don't take that much damage, then, what am I trying to say? Then I should be in a decent position. I'm going to click Crash here just in case they don't Protect. If they don't Protect, that's a huge mistake on their part. They do Protect, okay. Yeah, I think it was a free Icicle Crash on my part. Because like I said, if they happen to not Protect, which, again, if you've seen these videos, you know that I've run into a couple Gliscors so far, and they never Protect turn 1, and I end up destroying them because they don't Protect. So that's always the right call with Gliscor. You always want to Protect and guarantee that Toxic Orb activation. So now I'm just going to switch because they're probably just going to Toxic. I could get up Stealth Rock, and I did recognize that Stealth Rock's pretty good against their team, but for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and switch into Scizor. If they are running the moves that I said, then hopefully Earthquake doesn't do that much damage to Scizor. If Scizor can take Earthquake pretty well, then we're going to be in a great spot against their Gliscor because they cannot Toxic me, obviously. So now they're thinking, I wonder if they're thinking of subbing. You know, there was an argument to staying in with Mamoswine there and just going for Stealth Rock, because if they sub, that would be great. Even if they go Toxic, I don't really care that much, but, you know, I just decided against it. They do pull a hard switch, which is kind of crazy. They go into Chien-Pao. Interesting. Man, I used to have U-turn on this set, but I took it off. I wonder if we get their Terra here. I'm gonna Bullet Punch. I'm just gonna see what they do. We might get their Terra right away, which is not bad. Or they might switch. Wow, really? Okay, well, you know, that's the 0 attack investment right there. Sacred Sword does a decent chunk. We get a little bit of recovery there. Sucker Punch is going to do a lot of damage to us. Huh. It's actually a little rough, to be honest. I'm still going to click Bullet Punch, though. Yeah, I could have made a crazy prediction here and gone for Swords Dance. Maybe I should have. Oh, but Gliscor is actually a pretty big threat now, to be honest. Because... Huh. Earthquake honestly might knock us out at that health. And I definitely cannot switch in Milotic. You know, I'm kind of dumb. Like, so turn 1 with Mamo versus Gliscor, like, I'm an ice type, right? Like, why would they not switch? Like, that makes sense that they switch because I, you know, deal 4 times super effective damage to them. But I don't know, like Gliscor, you know, they have good Terra types. Like, they're typically like Terra Water and stuff. So I was just playing it safe there. I'm pretty sure we died to an Earthquake here. Do I need Scizor for the rest of the battle? Honestly, no. Scizor did a good job knocking out Chen Pao. Scizor is good against Baxcalibur, but honestly, the remaining Pokemon on my opponent's team, it is not great against. So I'm just gonna click Bullet Punch here and just probably go down to the Earthquake. It does not do very good damage. But Icicle Crash should do a ton more damage. We could go into Moth here and just Terrasilize right out the gate. But, yeah, I hate Gliscor. Gliscor is going to become one of my least favorite Pokemon to play against. It just is so tanky and it can survive so much. Like, if they go Terra Water here, it's going to be really difficult to win this. Either way, I'm going to click Crash here. We might be faster, but Gliscor is actually fast. So now they Protect. I'm actually dumb. I should have predicted that and just gone Stealth Rock. Now they know we're going Icicle Crash. I think I click it again. I should have gone Stealth Rock there. I'm not really thinking. We go Crash here. If they Terrasilize, you know. Wow, really? Are you serious? Well, hey, you know, maybe like, so I clicked the right move. Because maybe they were thinking I would go for Stealth Rock or that I would go for, like, you know, Earthquake or something, predicting a switch or something. So I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. We're going to click Crash again. If they go Dragon Dance, that can be a problem. If they're Terra Steel, that could be a huge problem. But we're going to see. But I'll take it. I mean, yeah, knocking out a Gliscor in one hit is beautiful. Okay, so we are Focus Sash, which means that we survive at least one hit here. So as long as we can land the Icicle Crash, I'll be happy. But if they're Choice... Okay, they are definitely not Choice Banded. I was going to say, if they're Choice Banded, you know, we're going to be in trouble. That does a lot of damage. I'll take it. I'm going to click Earthquake. Wow. What did they go for? Did they go Roost? Hello? What is going on? Okay, this is interesting. If they happen to knock me out with Extreme Speed, which is possible, then I do lose this battle, so it's not over yet, but I don't... Given how much damage the Extreme Speed did to my Mamoswine, I'm not sure they're gonna kill me here. So I'm just gonna click Fire Dance, and if they don't kill me, which I don't think they will, please? Please? Oh, yes, okay. Wow, that was a weird one. I wonder what their set is, because if they're Terra Normal, usually it's more offensive Dragonite. And even offensive Dragonite could run Dragon Tail, but I'm assuming they don't have much investment in attack, or any investment at all. But that, honestly, that was my opponent's game to win. Like, they completely had that game. And I feel like they just threw it by letting me Icicle Crash them, and then whatever that was with their Dragonite. I mean, I guess they played it right with their Dragonite, but I mean, my Icicle Crash also did a ton of damage to them. So I don't know. That was an interesting one. I was fully expecting to lose that one, but I'm super happy I won because, again, Gliscor is sometimes a nightmare. If you're not prepared for it, it's a nightmare. So let's go to game 3. Speaking of nightmares, my opponent's team is one. Their team is scary. Mamo does look pretty good here, actually, though. No matter what they lead with, Mamoswine feels pretty strong. I guess I would be less excited if they end up leading with, like, Water Ogerpon, but aside from that, everything else looks pretty handleable by Mamoswine. Rillaboom also looks good here. I'm going to bring Rillaboom just because we haven't brought it yet. I want to try to show it off. Rillaboom does struggle against Dragonite. But otherwise, and then it absolutely struggles against Iron Moth. But aside from that, Rillaboom looks pretty solid here. And Milotic honestly doesn't look amazing. I think I might have to run this team back in the next video because we just did not get to show off Milotic, sadly. So I think in the next video, I'm gonna go ahead and use the same team. Let me know in the comments if you care about that or if you'd rather I didn't or whatever the case, but I think I'm gonna have to bring this team again because like the question right now is like, do I bring Milotic, who doesn't look that great against their team, just to show it off somehow or just to try to show it off, or do I just not bring it just to try to have a better battle? Ooh, I don't know who to bring in the last slot. Oh, I'm gonna bring Dragonite even though I'm not sure that's right. Dragonite's okay here. It's like, it feels kind of 50-50 because they have their own Dragonite, you know, they have Fluttermane who's going to be faster. It kind of just depends on how we use Dragonite. It's going to be a mind game, I guess, but let's see what they lead with. Like I said, Mamoswine felt like a pretty good lead against anything. They lead Fluttermane, which I'm just going to click Earthquake. I could set up Stealth Rock, but it's possible they have Taunt, especially since they're leading with this. So I think Earthquake's just the right way to go. And Fluttermane does not get Will-O-Wisp. Imagine if Fluttermane got Will-O-Wisp, it would just be insanely broken, even more broken than it is now. They just click Moonblast, which I'm perfectly fine with because we're going to get off a ton of damage on this. And it's not enough damage, sadly. I'm going to click Ice Shard, which probably won't kill. I'm pretty sure they're bulky. Oh, it almost kills. Wow, okay. Huh. This puts us in a rough position right off the bat here. Oh wait, no it doesn't. We have Grassy Glide. Never mind. We at least get to show off my Rillaboom here. And it is shiny, which is great. And he has his big drum, which is cool. So I'm going to click Grassy Glide. I have no reason not to. If they go into Dragonite, we get to break the multi-scale, which I'm happy to take. So I'm just gonna click it. Yeah. Iron Moth is another scary one that they could go into, but I'll take it. Yeah, I think this is a pretty smart play because most of the Pokemon on their team would take a lot of damage from Grassy Glide, and even Dragonite, like I said, who doesn't take a lot of damage, will have the multi-skill broken. So I think it makes sense for my opponent to just let Fluttermane die there. But I think Rillaboom's in a decent position here. They do go into Dragonite now, which I'm not happy about, but I can click Knockoff. Unless they are Terra Flying, which is possible, I am not too afraid of what Dragonite can do. I should take Extreme Speed really well. They do go Dragon Dance though, which I am not happy to see. So now what I think I'm gonna do is kind of shift gears here for this battle. Loaded dice, okay. And I am just going to try to just destroy my opponent with damage. I'm gonna go Terra Flying. Wait, actually, this is kind of dumb, honestly, because now I cannot Terrasilize my Dragonite, which means Terra Blast is out of the question for Dragonite, which I think is fine, right? We're gonna have one powerful flying type Pokemon doing a lot of damage here regardless. So let's see what happens here. I should live a hit given that I have the +1 defense, and I am max HP as well, so I should live any hit from this thing. So, and I should do a ton of damage with the, oh yeah, we're gonna kill them, I'm pretty sure, because Scale Shot will lower their defense. So wow, they hit 4 times. So we knocked out their loaded dice, so they don't guarantee hit 5 times, but they ended up hitting 4 times. They lower their defense. Just one more reason, like as if it needed it, another reason for Dragonite to be just such an amazing Pokemon is the fact that it got Scale Shot with the previous DLC. So Scale Shot's really good on Dragonite, and it just gives it another set that it can run with loaded dice. So scary stuff. They have not Terrasilized yet though. I am still at +1 defense. So we'll see what happens here. I don't resist water anymore. Ogerpon also sometimes runs like Spiky Shield and sometimes even Leech Seed. So we're gonna see what happens here, everyone. They might just destroy me with like Ivy Cudgel if they get a crit. But I might live, right? Right, everyone? Please? Please? Come on, Rillaboom. I'll give you a big hug if you live this. And if not, I'm gonna release you. 4 HP! Woo! Alright, sorry, that was cringe. RIP headphone users, am I right? They do get some recovery here, and once again, this is a situation, this is hilarious. This is a situation where I'm gonna click Grassy Glide, but I know that I'm gonna die here. it's just funny that, oh, they canceled. All right, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So at least we got to show off my Rillaboom set. I know I've been using a lot of Rillaboom. I know like my previous 2 videos before my Halloween video, I had Rillaboom in the thumbnail. And since I didn't really get to show off my Milotic in this video, I don't know what I'm gonna put in the thumbnail. Maybe I'll put my shiny Scizor in the thumbnail. But either way, like I said, I like this team a lot. It feels like a really nice balanced team. And unfortunately, we just didn't have too many opportunities to bring my Milotic in this video. But like I said, I think I'm gonna bring the same team in my next video so we can try to show off the Milotic. And by the way, I did get Typhlosion. The current raid event going on right now is Hisuian Typhlosion. And I used Water Arceus to solo it. And it was pretty easy, but I know that, like, I wanted to make a video about it, but like, I know that not a lot of people have access to Arceus, so, you know, I've seen people solo it with Belly Bolt though, so, you know, there's a lot of options. But anyway, let's go to the team again. Oops. Yeah, so here's my team, and the team code is at the beginning of the video if you want to try it out for yourself. And I think this is a good team. Like, it feels really well balanced, and it feels like we have a threat for almost any situation. And even Pokemon that would typically, like, scare out certain Pokemon, like, I still have answers to. And even something like Gliscor, like, I think actually Milotic is okay against Gliscor as well, because we could just Scald it. Obviously, once their orb is activated, we can't burn it anymore, but, you know, if they poison us, then we're going to take less damage from their Earthquake. Eventually, we can rest. It ends up becoming a stall game, which is not very fun, but, you know, we have options there. If they have not yet Terastallized, Scald will do a lot of damage. And then if they happen to just not Terastallize in the face of an ice move, they'll get destroyed by Mamoswine. So yeah, this is a really fun team. In the next video, I'll try to bring Milotic. I'll try to force Milotic in some of those games because I do think it has a lot of potential. But, you know, Rillaboom shined in this game. Dragonite's good. Mamoswine's great. And these 2 are also very good. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please, of course, do leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. Let me know in the comments how you had, or how your Halloween was, if you celebrated it. And otherwise, you can also answer the question that I asked earlier in the video, which was, what would you do in that situation against the Rotom? Would you click Fiery Dance? Would you click Sludge Wave? Dazzling Gleam? There's a lot of options. And given that we didn't know what their Terra type would be, it was a pretty tough situation. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. I don't know why I was showing his butt. I didn't do that on purpose.